You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn connects you with experts from all over the world to help you take charge of your career, your business, and your life. Rap along with us. Visit drjacalyn.com to learn how to become a guest or a sponsor. And now, the doctor is in.
Hello and welcome to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. It's all about dating, live on Business Talk Radio and social media. I am your host and executive producer, Dr. Jacalyn Kerbeck. I am a certified life and career coach. And with me today, as always, is the lovely Lisa Manyoky, my co-host and friend. Hi.
Hi. This is the 1 hour of the week that is always just pure joy, right?
It's pure joy. Now, I have to say, when the show first started, I was stuck. Could you tell nothing was happening?
When? Today?
I kept looking. Yeah, I kept looking at the screen and I wasn't there. So I thought, oh, there's a delay.
Nope.
No. Okay, good. So forget about that. So how are you doing?
Good. It's been a week.
You've had a lot on your plate.
I had a sudden death in the family, and part of the process came with rehoming thoroughbred racehorses. So if anybody out there needs to know how to rehome a thoroughbred, and first of all, how to find them, just give me a call.
That's unusual. That's not something you hear every day.
No, and this is interesting. This is my ex-mother-in-law. So wow. My ex was a bit of a stinker, and that's diplomacy at its finest. So I inherited my in-laws, and my mother-in-law passed away suddenly, but she owned thoroughbred racehorses. So this last week has been spent literally in my ex-mother-in-law's home trying to make sense of her lifestyle, which was a little complex, but she was a beautiful personality. I feel it's kind of a privilege to see to it that her wishes actually come true, even when she's not here to do it. So rehoming the racehorses was one of the things.
Well, good for you. Another skill set that you've added to your repository. We've got a special guest who's joining us from the UK. And before I bring her out, Lisa, would you tell us a little bit about the work that you do at Presence Intelligence?
Sure. Well, presence intelligence is the ability to align who you are on the inside with what you project on the outside. So if you go to a costume party, for example, and you're a pirate or a princess or a gangster, that'd be fun for a night. But if you had to be a pirate or a princess or a gangster for the rest of your days, and that's not really who you are, then you'd be exhausted and unhappy. So the point of presence intelligence is figuring out who you are, first of all, and then making sure that that person shows up, whether on a first date, a second, or all those that follow, so that you get to find the people who suit you and you're who suits them to the core.
I love how succinct that is. And I love that analogy of, I always wanted to be I Dream of Jeannie. And after a certain point of time, my stomach wasn't cooperating anymore. So I don't have to like that. So enough about that. Let's bring on our guest, Sarah Louise Ryan. We are going to have a great time on the show. Hi, Sarah. Welcome.
Hey, how are you?
It's great to see you. How are things going over there in London?
Oh gosh, well, we all just can't wait to get out of our homes and get traveling and see the rest of the world. I mean, it's a bit like unorganized chaos and whatnot, but I personally am well. I can't wait to travel a lot. I'm so used to being stateside. I'm also so used to traveling across the UK to see friends, family, clients. And right now, I mean, we have the joy of walking from our bathroom to our living room to our bedroom to our kitchen, and I don't think I've ever cooked as much as I have now, which is a bit of a joy. So I'm finding the joy in the little things. How are you both doing?
Good. Definitely
doing
good.
well. Yeah, doing well. I want to give a shout out to John Wilson, to Olga Mena, and Mike Bartlett, who are watching on Facebook. So thank you for that. I think I'm doing really well, and I'm here with my mom. She and I have been together since I think September. So it's been a great opportunity. I'd love to hear all about you, Sarah. Do you go by Sarah Louise or Sarah?
Oh, you can just call me Sarah. That's perfect.
Okay, I love your accent. It's so, I don't know, it's so romantic, isn't it?
It's also it's a bit twangy because I'm from Manchester in the UK, but I've lived in London for 12 years, 10, 12 years. I've lived in New York for a bit. So it's like kind of Mancunian, but also very twangy, like displaced, I'd say. But thank you.
I really like it.
Me too.
So you are an international matchmaker, and I love that. It's not just a matchmaker. You are helping people all over the world. Tell us about that.
Oh gosh, I mean, for me, it just lights a little fire of excitement inside of me whenever someone says, "Tell me about what you do." So it's my 10th year of working as a matchmaker, and I've been working internationally as a matchmaker for the last 6 years. So a little bit about that, yes, not just being a matchmaker, but connecting people across countries and continents in the way that love knows no bounds. And I think the concept came from just meeting so many successful professionals who were traveling so much for work, and they were seriously looking for love, but finding themselves being a bit stuck in the search because they would be traveling, to New York or to, Stockholm, or from London to Miami, and they were never stationary. And what I find is that there is a bit of a gap in the singles market, so to speak, for those who are seriously looking to build a loving and long-lasting relationship, but often travel so much. So a few years back, I launched Love Connections Global, and it's the idea of searching either locally, nationwide, or globally for love for busy single professionals. So in a nutshell, that's one of my businesses, and I do other things in the dating industry, such as coaching. I have a coaching business, and I also teach people to build their own dating agencies at the Love Consultancy Global. So I've got my fingers in many pies in the dating industry. It's keeping me on my toes.
That's fascinating, by the way. Congratulations. We have a comment from Twitch. I don't know how to say that name. Is it Voxleo? Hello, I am looking for dating. Okay, well, you are on the right show in that case. I also want to say hello to, and I hope I get this right, Madan Maharjan. I apologize if I didn't, but thank you for watching. So I have never heard of anyone helping people set up their own dating. What is it? What did you call it?
A dating agency.
Dating agency. Have you, Lise?
No. You mean to run a business as a coach or as a matchmaker, or both, or what?
Interesting. It's an excellent question. So I've consulted for so many brands in the last decade across the dating industry in the offline space. So we're not talking tech, we're not talking algorithms, we're talking about people that bring people together, whether it's singles events companies, whether it's a dating agency, matchmaking agency, or if it's helping couples and singles deepen or find and attract love. So I've got my own multitude of brands, and I've got such a wealth of knowledge. I've made a lot of mistakes, I've learned a lot of lessons, and I've made a lot of happy, couples and marriages that have gone on to have babies. And I know what it takes to build a sustainable, successful brand that's all about people, run by people. So a year ago, I realized, gosh, I must have consulted for over 100 brands now. Why am I not teaching? If it is a vocation for me, which is I truly believe it is, I get up every day with that fire inside of me. Why am I not teaching people what it is that I know? So right now, behind the scenes, when I'm not matchmaking, I'm building something called the Love Consultancy Global as part of, the multitude of brands. We've got Love Lessons Global, which is coaching, Love Connections, and now it's the Love Consultancy. And, if you're out there and you feel like, oh, I'm an aspiring Cupid, or I'm so good at bringing people together, and I'm a matchmaker, whether it's bringing people together as friends or business connections or for love, perhaps running a dating agency is for you. So that's what I've been busy working on. And I don't think there are too many people out there teaching people how to run offline dating businesses, but actually the dating industry itself is a $9 billion industry, but so much of that, revenue goes to apps that monetize on keeping people single. But, matchmaking agencies and singles events companies, they've got one goal in mind: to get success stories, that get testimonials, to get more, clients coming through. So, I'm quite passionate about the offline space to bring people together. And I just thought, my end goal is to give something back. So why am I not teaching people what I know? Might save them a lot of time. I mean, they might build a business in a year. It's taken me a decade to learn all of the things that I know, but I love it. And so far, so good.
See, what I think is so nice is that you're talking about people live, because the apps, okay, so sure, you can join online dating and be perfectly agreeable in print or on the phone. And then you get before this person across the table and say, not a chance. So you might as well just skip over that part. And then it becomes more an organic process where you're in each other's company and you get a whole lot more information immediately and can yay or nay it.
Lisa, you are so right. And the amount of times I hear that people have built something that I call, and I'm sure other people call, pseudo relationships online, where they've been, I don't know, swiping left, right, up and down, whichever way it is these days, and chatting in the online dating space. And particularly during the pandemic, people have been chatting for months. And then when they finally get out on that socially distanced walk and have a coffee, they're like, ouch, there's no chemistry. I don't like that person's demeanor. I don't like how they spoke to that, barista. I'm not feeling the energy. My energy isn't aligned with their energy. Like, I don't feel it. There's no chemistry. But, with matchmaking, it's real people getting to know people. And it's like, actually, even though on paper per se, they wouldn't have picked each other, we're getting to know them. We're like, just give it a go, see how you feel. Often people go to attract the same type that didn't work so far. And when they go onto an app, whichever it might be, they keep looking for people with the same, looks, the same, attributes in their profile, which is just a snapshot of who they are. But as matchmakers, we spend so much time getting to know people before they become clients that, at the end of the day, what they will make if there's no chemistry is a friend on their wavelength. So, yeah, it's really rewarding in that sense.
Now, are you working with men and women?
Yes, we work with both. I know you probably hear a lot of matchmakers that just work with like one specific gender, but I guess, we say that we help people find and build, successful relationships, like, with their significant other. What we're attracting is people that are looking for serious, meaningful monogamy, and that isn't to a specific gender. And we're very open, but some matchmakers do prefer to take on females or males as paying clients and then actively search for whoever their partner might be. But we're very open when it comes to gender and country. So I'm pleased that we're on this show, actually.
I just wish I could have your accent. I love it. I keep thinking it just sounds so cool. I just love it. And you are just filled with passion and energy. So I'm thrilled that you are here with us today. A question that I had, we're going to have to go to break, but we'll take it when we come back, is let's say I come to you and I say, I want to meet someone. I'm here in the States, but I'd really like to meet a nice Italian man who, he lives on the Italian Riviera or something. Would you be able to help me with something like that?
Yes, I mean, what we have is a team of headhunters, and we call them Headhunters for Love. And so we scope across different cities, different countries, and we essentially introduce them to people who are on their wavelength, based on our headhunting, like recruiters, like people doing business, but just for their personal and love lives.
It's fantastic. I love it. We are going to pause and take a break and hear from some of our sponsors. We have a new sponsor, Ben Chai. We're going to run his ad right now. We will be right back. Stay with us.
The world of healthcare is benefiting us in many ways, but the risk of becoming a victim to an airborne infection is increasing at a fast pace too. There are threats from viruses, allergic pollen, and chemicals which cause you loss of health, income, business, mental health, family and friends. All are at stake. One solution to this threat are the BV Air Sanitation Placide-based systems. When you call our team on 0208 104 3253, you find out about the amazing protection available. Protection that uses certified Battlefield, tested, standard and customized air disinfection systems for your personal and business use. Each system uses a filterless technology known as Placide, which attacks all airborne particles with microlighting to destroy and eliminate viruses and other harmful particles in your office, transport and home. You also benefit from extra bonuses such as low running and maintenance costs, no regular filter and part changes. You get to work with our trained experts and professional staff and be made aware of the latest in airborne protection and disinfection strategy. Keep yourself healthy by working with our trained experts and Placide virus killing systems, which keep you safe from airborne viruses. BV Air Sanitation Limited. We save lives, save businesses, and prevent infection. Schedule your free consultancy call and virus protection checklist. Call 0208 104 3253 or connect to us on www.bvbuster.com.
I don't think men are superficial idiots, that their brains are wired to be visual. I'm told I give great advice. Nike Just Do It for exercise, I think really applies to sex too. I've coached hundreds of men and women. So I disagree with her where she's like, put it all out there on the first date. You know, an open book is not sexy. Exactly. You know. Do you have relationship questions? Chances are one of my clients or myself or my friends have gone through the same thing, and I already made a video about it. So I invite you to check out my YouTube channel, Donna Barnes. I've made hundreds of advice videos based on real-life experiences so that you can make better choices.
In my upcoming Breakup Recovery Action Plan, there's going to be checklists and quizzes.
Best information that I've ever experienced or acquired. If you're stuck and can't move forward or let go, my action plan is built to help you. Subscribe to my channel. I'll help you have better relationships.
Hello, I'm Dr. Jacalyn. Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn presents A Better You. And here to tell us more is the creator of A Better You, Al Cini. Al, welcome to the show.
Thank you, Dr. Jacalyn. It's always a pleasure working with you and everyone out there. You know, you might be a coach working with individuals professionally or personally, or you might be a consultant working with businesses, or you might be a trusted advisor specializing in an area like finance, let's say, or the law or healthcare. Whatever of those roles you relate to, you all have one thing in common, and that is you're working every day to help people become better versions of themselves, a better you. And Dr. Jacalyn's A Better You program is an opportunity for you to express your expertise in a particular area for 15 minutes in front of an audience of people who are looking for help from people like you.
Yep.
So, Dr. Jacalyn, maybe you can tell everybody how they can learn more about this.
It's so easy. You go to abetteryou.tv and you sign up to book your session.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Welcome back to Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. It's all about dating. Everybody loves this show. I'm telling you, we get a lot of engagement for this program. And I guess because at the core, everybody wants to find love, right?
It's the one thing that we all want, a true sense of romantic belonging with another person, you know, that's really our best friend. You know, your partner, first and foremost, is your best friend. And yeah, of course, like we all truly want as human beings that strong sense of belonging. And where can you reap the rewards of that other than, you know, well, you can with friends and family for sure, but your most intimate self, you know, your physical, intellectual, emotional, energetic, spiritual self is shared with another person romantically. And, you know, I sound like such a romantic then, didn't I? To myself,
You did,
I was like, oh, I felt
you are in the
then.
right industry, that is for sure. So, Sarah, I want to go back to the question that I had. So let's say I'm looking for someone and I want to meet somebody who lives outside the United States. How does that process work?
Oh, so we have a global network. So I've got a global network of matchmakers. I'm well connected in the dating industry, and we have over 10,000 people on our database. And so what we do is we headhunt through our database, so people can sign up and register their details complimentary just to be headhunted for our proactively searching clients. So anyone can head to the website and pop their details in, and we'll be in touch if we have somebody who we think is a good fit for them. Every single person has a consultation either way. And if we don't have anyone in our database that we think that would be a good fit, and you're an actively searching client, we proactively headhunt for you, just like a recruiter would, looking to put you in a position. Professionally speaking, we have networks all across the globe, in Asia, in Europe, in America, where we just reach out to them and we kind of give a loose kind of profiling of you without confidentially giving any information. And we ask them to put us in touch with anyone that they do know or know of who is fitting to that criteria. And then we get to know them and we vet them, and we either sieve them out and we don't think they're suitable, or we vet them in terms of checking out their background, seeing that they're a good fit, seeing that they are who they say they are the age they say they are, and they live where they say they live, the things that you can't get in any of those online dating apps right now, I believe. I mean, don't quote me on that. I'm sure I've heard of different apps developing on it, but you know, we're human beings. There's no algorithm. We get people to send us, you know, proof of person, their identification. You know, if somebody tells us that they are divorced, we'd ideally like to see a decree absolute. Like we're pretty thorough, and it's because we have people who are seriously searching for a significant other. They're not messing about, and so neither are we. So yeah, that's how it works. We're headhunters.
That's fantastic. And we're not messing about. I love that. That is,
I know, that's so northern of me.
I love that.
About.
I love it. So following along with what you're saying, at what point is one party introduced to the other?
Oh, good question. So it would be the process. So just taking you through it loosely, because we have people fill out a very short application form where they tell us a little bit about who they are and where they are. They also identify for us, but also in their mind, whether they think they're looking for a localized or a nationwide or a globalized search. And from this point, we take a look at the application and we get to know them. Right now, it's not it used to be over a glass of wine or a cup of tea face to face, where we'd sit down for a few hours having lunch and getting to know people. Whereas now it's with a cup of tea over Zoom, unfortunately, and we're getting to know people that way. And when we have spent some quality time, we go away and we talk to the matchmaking team. We're like, okay, I met John today. Here's what John's all about. Here's what John is looking for. Here's what's non-negotiable for him. Here's the logistics. Here's what's practical for him. And we make a decision as to whether we think we can onboard John as a proactively searching client. So if we can, and it's a yes, what we do all those checks that I just told you about. And then it would take 6 to 8 weeks probably for us to create the first introduction. So in those first 8 weeks, that's when we're starting to headhunt through our database, reaching out to different people who we think are fitting. Either we've gotten to know them already and they're candidates, or they are actively searching clients and we think they're fitting to John's criteria. We say, hey, we've got someone in mind for you. Can we just touch base, see how you're getting on, see if you've been snapped up, see if you're still single? And we re-engage with those people that if we've already engaged with them, or if it's somebody that we don't know yet that's sat in our database, we get to know them. And then we make a decision as to whether we would introduce John to, let's say, Joanna. And what we would then do is ensure that all those checks are done for her. And the process of introduction is we have different services that we provide. We have something right now called digital dates. We're not going to do that for too long, but we did it. We've been doing it for 9 months, and it came off the back of something called mission-free matchmaking. So I'm smiling and I get excited about that because it was something from our team of matchmakers. It was from goodwill and good heart. And we thought, in this time of being locked down, what we really want to do is eradicate loneliness. We know so many singles are cooped up alone. They can't meet people. Perhaps they're in a position where they can't work and their business isn't thriving right now. So we decided as matchmakers that if we were truly all about connection, and we really meant what we were saying, that we would put our money where our mouth was for a couple of weeks. And we launched something called Mission-Free Matchmaking, which grew our database by 300%. So we just shared, hey, any single out there that's looking for love right now, wherever you are, get in touch and we will try our best to get to know you and make digital dates happen. There'll be blind dates and we'll connect you with like-minded singles on your wavelength. Oh my goodness. Well, the BBC in the UK picked it up and it grew like wildfire. We were getting inquiries from Sydney, India, all across Australia, both coasts of the US, all across the UK and Ireland. And I had to take on a whole team of volunteer matchmakers to interview all of these different people that had inquired. I'd bitten off more than I could chew. It was so funny. So that's why we have such a vast database that we can headhunt through. And I was like, listen, guys, I know I said we run this for 2 weeks, but we are going to extend it because we've, like I said, bitten off more than we could chew. And that's why we don't have to reach out to other networks too much. Like we've got a good base of single professionals internationally.
Now, are most of your candidates travelers, or are you looking for people who are in one place for the duration? Or
well, interesting. So I know I mentioned logistics, and I hate to get really real when I am a romantic, but it's practicality, isn't it? We've got to be realistic about things. And say Joanna Bloggs said to me, oh, I am in Santa Barbara and I'm staying here, this is my home. What would happen is if I came across somebody who's a good fit for her and he or she or whoever was willing to relocate to her, that's when we would make the introduction. However, if Joanna said to me, hey, I'm in London 3 times a year and I'm open to London, we would look in those 2 locations. So we really take every single application and we tailor it to that person based on their search criteria. There are so many matchmakers in the world and so many excellent ones, and I'm such an advocate for the offline dating industry that if somebody's like they are looking in Manhattan and they're not willing to go a few blocks, then there's a matchmaker there that can help you search those few blocks. But if you are open-minded to a global search, just thinking, actually, I feel like I've dated all of the singles and, my dating app has told me I've finished it, it's completed. Well, then maybe I'm your person. I can search internationally for you.
Louise is laughing because she has dated most of the community.
I've been on them all.
We're sorry, Lisa. There are no more matches in your area. What's a girl to do?
Go global, or go home.
I'm leaving Jersey.
Wouldn't that be exciting though to think about just picking up and leaving and going somewhere like London is so cool. I love the city of London. I have too. I love it there. It's amazing. We're coming to see you.
somebody else just doing all the doing for you, you saying, no, this is the person for you. I mean, look, okay, I understand we ultimately get to be the CEO of our life and decide, but to think that somebody else is going to look for us and eliminate the task, because it can feel like a real second job or a chore, but just to say, hey, just be open to this personality for the right, I think it's great.
It's amazing. I have a question.
Go on.
When does the cash register start running?
Oh, when do they pay?
Yes.
Well, they pay upfront because the thing is, we're human beings, and we can put people together based on their criteria, but that spark, that chemistry that can only be found between two people, I can't get that when I meet Joe or Joanna. Like, I can think, oh gosh, they look great together, and they have the same wants, they have the same, the values and lifestyle, and they're so open about X, Y, and Z. Perhaps they're of the same religious background, whatever it is, they're so aligned. But if Joe and Joanna meet and there is no spark, it doesn't mean that we didn't do the work that you employed us to do. So we take the money, like most matchmakers. I don't know any matchmaker that gets paid on result, because results can be measured in different ways. Like, one person being in a 6-month relationship might see the matchmaking service as successful because they met somebody but it didn't work out, and that was their responsibility to make that happen for them as a couple. Whereas some people see successes when they're married with children. So measuring success is really tricky, but we take the money straight away, so to speak. So we offer 6 months or 12-month contracts, and then what happens is, if you haven't found your partner, we normally say it takes about 8 to 9 months for us to truly, like, measuring success in our recent years. We on average look after our clients for about 8 months. So 6 months option is something that we have. Obviously, it's more cost effective to someone to try for 6 months. And if sometimes we've made match and it's been their first and successful match, and they've not needed any more service from us. Or some people, they've gone right to the end of the contract and met someone on their very last match. Or some people have gone 12 months and then they've just not found the chemistry with that right person. So it's always swings and roundabouts, but what we do is provide a really good customer service. And the thing with matchmaking is, let's say 2 people go on a date, there's accountability to that day. And in this modern world of dating, one thing that really gets my goat, ladies, is there's no accountability. Like, before this pandemic, it's what really drives me forward to create a really healthy, happy space for people today and build a positive path. And what I mean by that is, with online dating, there's so much fear of rejection, there's so much unknown, there's so much liaising and syncing time with people that then just simply disappear. But if you're using a matchmaker, you'll go on a date, you will meet somebody, and then you will receive feedback, whether it's constructively to your dating journey. Okay, you could have been a bit more open, or Joe said that your communication wasn't quite there. He thought that you were a bit withdrawn and maybe you were a bit shy and you weren't feeling it. And what we do basically is we feedback constructively to our clients and the candidates so they can create their most positive dating journey. If dating is overwhelming for you, it takes sometimes a bit of an ego drop to say, actually, I've been trying all these things and they didn't work for me so far. There's nothing wrong with you. So many singles say, oh, what's wrong with me? All of the good ones are taken. No, he or she is out there and searching for you too. You just haven't crossed paths yet. And with these apps, it's so tricky because it's a paradox of choice. There are hundreds of people, hundreds of singles at your fingertips, but they're built to keep you engaged. But actually, you just want to engage with one person. You want to really see them, really be present. You want to really show up. You want to really connect. And if you feel that you've been on a first date and you don't know how it went, well, your matchmaker will tell you exactly how it went, because there's accountability. With online dating and getting offline, people can just disappear, and it happens so often. Gosh, I did really get very passionate about that. But one thing I'm trying to bring is accountability and a healthy approach to modern dating. It's got so much toxicity in it today, and I want to eradicate it as much as I can.
Oh, here's some toxicity. Lisa, you'll be single forever, probably till you're 86, because you won't go outside of New Jersey and you have a punch list. I went, wow, that's nice. I mean, this is a new statement. I said 86. Wow.
To come up with that number. This is a great conversation. We have to take a break and hear from some of our sponsors, but I'm excited. This is a shorter break, so we'll be right back. Stay with us.
Networking sucks and people suck at it, but nothing gives me more life than walking around and talking to people in an audience and really being able to identify, okay, I see where you're having trouble, let's work on fixing it. How do you help them? How do you provide value? My goal is to give them those tools to be able to go out and tackle that fear. Anywhere there's coffee is where I'll be. So I bring candy a lot to my speaking engagements. Like, of course that makes sense. I'm a little unconventional.
Ashley was very knowledgeable.
Very entertaining.
I learned a few new things, and to me that's the key.
What do you want them to say? How do you want to be perceived? You're going to get the most direct, tactical tips and practical takeaways when it comes to networking. These two here are super important. You'll remember once the conversation started.
I love the tips that she gave out. I hate networking with a passion, so I feel like I can go through a meeting or event and not feel so uncomfortable.
When you're going to a presentation, you want to be educated. You also want to be entertained.
She was really fun and really personable, and everything she was saying was just very relatable.
She's got a lot of great ideas.
That will make you stand out so fast.
She comes across as someone that likes what they do and just doesn't try to sell you something.
Activity breeds results. If you're not doing anything, you're not going anywhere.
Just made me want to start networking, which I never thought I'd say before.
A networking strategy that works for you.
My stomach issues make me want to stay home, but that's not an option. No matter how prepared I am, I still feel nervous. Enough is enough.
If this sounds familiar, the Crohn's and Colitis Foundation can offer you support and connect you with a specialist.
Don't keep your symptoms to yourself. Get help at spillyourguts.org today.
Ladies and gentlemen, here it is, the most listened to radio show on the planet. Even the other stations are tuned in too.
You're listening to Business Talk Radio, where we take business to the next level.
Yay, we made it back. I'm so excited. We can have more fabulous conversation. This is Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn. It's all about dating. My co-host Lisa Manyoky is here, and our guest all the way from London, Sarah Louise Ryan. This is so much fun. Hello. I have a couple questions, but Lisa, I don't want to do all the steal all the talking. So go ahead. Do you have something?
I do have a question. Is there a specific age group where you tend to do most of your work?
Good question. most of the people that come, I'd say, if I had to put a percentage on it, say 60 to 70% are aged between 37 and 45. It's that time where people think, I've worked really hard, I've built a career, I've got everything that I want, I've got my academic attributes, I've built a lifestyle that I love, I know who I am, I don't have someone to share it with. And they've worked really hard, they wake up one day and they're just like, okay, now it's time, they're serious. So more often than not, it's women in their late 30s and men in their early 40s if they're searching for heterosexual relationships.
Interesting.
Okay. But then I've got my oldest client is in his late, I think, 60s, early 70s. Yeah. My youngest client is 29. So it's such a broad scope of age.
Are they most in Europe?
I've got about 20% of my clients in the US. Few in Australia, mostly in Europe, I'd say, but international travelers, so often in the US.
Okay.
Yeah, the thing that's so cool, I think, about living in Europe is you can go from one country to the next. It's almost like going from New Jersey to New York to Pennsylvania to Delaware, right?
Yes.
It seems so much more exotic over there.
I mean, in 2 hours, you can be from London, sat having a croissant in Paris. It's not so bad, is it?
No, it's not bad at all. So I'm wondering in terms of how you market your business, you already have a huge database of clients and also you have a huge team of matchmakers. Do you have to do additional outside advertising? I mean, do you have to, you mentioned you were on the BBC. So can you?
Yeah, I mean, 10 years in, I've gotten pretty savvy with, I'm not saying I'm best friends with all the people in the media, but I've got a lot of friends in a lot of good places. I think I've just talked people's heads off about dating for a decade. And now if I was just featured in Vogue last month, GQ the month before. I'm a regular contributor to Psychology's magazine and Cosmopolitan. We don't pay for any PR. We don't pay for any social media things. At this stage in the dating game, so to speak, not that it is that, people just come for commentary and they want to know what's happening, what's the status of modern dating. I think it's because people want good news in a world full of bad news the past year, and the fact that we were doing good things and it wasn't meant for brand awareness. It was just let's do what it says on the tin that we do. And then from the back of that, we've got lots of testimonials. We did free online cocktails connections evenings where we send people the mixology recipes before and they'd rock up and we'd do free speed datings with people online. And we connected so many people that word of mouth just generated really organically. We don't invest in any PR. We're really fortunate, but also I guess if I didn't know what I was doing 10 years in, I probably shouldn't be doing it.
Congratulations on all your success. I know that there might be a battery issue coming up and we might lose you. But can you please give information about how people can get in touch with you and the services that you offer?
Yes, absolutely. So you can go to the website, which is on here, loveconnectionsglobal.com. And just fill out apply now. You can apply for free. We just take a look at your profile, see a little bit about you, and then a matchmaker will be in touch to get to know you a bit better, to find out more about the kind of person you're looking to meet. And different services that we provide on our website, it's globalized matchmaking, it's nationwide matchmaking, but something that isn't on our website is the fact that we do digital dating services. It's a small 3-month investment where we connect you for Zoom dates. If you can fathom a Zoom and you want us to set you up on blind dates with people who are like you, who have the same wants, then we can do that too, but it's not on our website. So just drop us a line about that and we'll be in touch.
It sounds so exciting. I'm going to add that to my calendar as something that I need to do.
Yes, please
it sounds amazing.
I think so too.
And I don't know, it just seems exciting to be able to meet somebody who's not in the United States. I don't know why. Maybe it's because
Maybe it's because you like the accent, Dr. Jacalyn.
Yes, yeah. And I love to travel too. And hopefully we'll be getting back to that rather soon. I know people are already going to conferences starting in April, in-person conferences in April and July.
Really?
Yes,
Wow.
Atlanta and Houston.
Oh, wow. Okay.
It's interesting. Sarah, how are you doing on your battery?
Very low.
Low. Okay. I just want to make sure that we have you share with our audience anything that we need to help people find love. And it sounds like working with you, there are no barriers. If you're really committed, you really want to meet someone, you will be able to find them a match, somebody that's perfect for them.
And if matchmaking, for anyone that's tuning in now or watching it later on the socials, isn't something that's interesting, for you right now, what I would recommend is just getting really clear. I've got a free guide which can help set you up for dating success in 2021. You can just drop me a line at sarah@loveconnectionsglobal.com and I'll send it to you. And it's just to show you that there are options other than matchmaking, that online dating is easy to navigate, to get offline and meet people in real life. If you know who you are and what you want, if you're sieving out people in communication that aren't suitable for you, if you have really clear boundaries about what's integral to you, what feels good and right, and you're not willing to settle for less than you deserve, if you truly know yourself and what you want, then obviously you probably don't need someone like me. But if you are ready to get to grips with that and you feel like you've been attracting the wrong person or too many of the wrong types of people, then definitely figuring it out and taking stock now is a good option as well. So I can provide coaching.
And it sounds to me like if you are dating the same person over and over again, attracting the same type of person over and over again, that you have to really put the work in to know who you are first and what your presence is in the world. And also that when you work with someone like you, it's not going to be instantaneous that they're going to find a perfect match. So you have to have some patience and really have some skin in the game, as we say.
Yeah, it's so true. And, if you're in that position where you find that you're consistently attracting a similar type of person and it isn't serving you, well, it's the path of least resistance, isn't it? It's comfortable. Like people, they know how that works out and they are in control of the state of play with that situation if they are consistently attracting a particular type of person that they know is not quite right for them. It's comfortable. It's like putting on a comfortable pair of slippers. You don't want to wear them all the time, but you know how they feel and how it works out. So it's almost like a subconscious control. But if you're ready to break that pattern and you want to do something that's going to be successful for your love life, then perhaps try. What do they say? Is it Einstein? It's an Einstein quote, it's insanity by consistently doing the same thing over and over again and not getting different results. We'll try something different, even if it's events, going to online events. There's so many online speed datings and we do them, considering a dating coach or just working on yourself and figuring out who you are and what you want.
But even if you are clear and you know your boundaries and you know what you want, it's still incredibly helpful to have an objective party from the outside looking in, see things that you just simply can't. It's like we don't have eyes in the back of our head, right? So there's great merit to having somebody on the outside looking in.
The amount of times I've heard somebody say, I never thought about it like that, or didn't realize I showed up on a date like that. So for example, if somebody gives me feedback about a particular client, and that I get the same feedback, we've identified a pattern there. That's so valuable to helping someone constructively change things up and move things around and pave the way to dating success. It's accountability and it's constructive. That is part of the journey that I love so much, seeing those breakthroughs, even if they don't meet the love of their life. The process is really enjoyable.
Yeah, it's actually a self-discovery process in and of itself. There's just no way you can see the things that someone else can. So,
yeah,
great.
Exactly. Sarah, can you share with us again the publications that you've been in recently where we can find you, an article on you and your business?
Yes. So the Times Magazine, GQ, Forbes, and Vogue, lots of different ones. If you head to the website, I'm sure we've got a gazillion links on there for you to check them out.
And for people listening on the radio, just so they're clear about the website, it's www.loveconnections with an S global.com. Loveconnectionsglobal.com. Well, I am thrilled for you and how much you are giving back to the world and bringing love, bringing people together. I think it's what we need so much, especially when we get out of lockdown. People are going to be wanting that connection and feeling safe that, now they're able to get out and go out on dates and meet somebody. So I love what you're doing, Sarah.
Thank you so much for having me, ladies. It's just been such a joy. And when you said you always have so much fun on the show, I just thought, oh my gosh, I am actually having so much fun. And I was thinking in the commercial break, I could sit here and chat to them for like 5 days. And we'd still have so much to say about modern dating apps, about, building dating businesses, anything. I just eat, breathe, and sleep it. So thank you so much for having me on the show.
Oh, it's a pleasure, and we'd love to have you back on. Are you? I know you're not. You don't need to advertise on social media, but are you on social media if people want to find you?
Yes, I'm on the Twitter. I'm on Twitter, and my handle is @DatingSarahLou on Twitter. You can go to Instagram, and it's @lessonsinlove_. And that's where we give coaching advice or snippets about our matchmaking. And we're on Facebook as Love Connections Global.
Fantastic. Well, it has been an absolute pleasure. And seriously, I hope you will come back and visit with us again.
Yes, please have me back. I would love that.
All right. I'll send you the link again. All right. Take care. Thank you again, Sarah.
Bye.
Bye.
Sarah.
She was a delight, wasn't she?
Yes, it's so funny.
Gosh, I just love her accent and her energy, and I love the fact that she's been in this business for, she said, 10 years,
right?
And she's in major publications.
Yeah, and you can't fake enthusiasm. You just can't. She likes what she does, and clearly she's good at it. Look, you don't get into those magazines without being able and capable. They vetted her, so it's good credibility boost. Plus, she's a lot of fun.
She's a lot of fun. So now you heard what she said about the apps, right? We both have experience with the apps.
Yeah. And,
you're in a different place, literally, because we're not in the same place, than I am in terms of dating and whatnot. But would you be open to using her, working with her as a matchmaker?
Sure. Well, except that I'm not up for international travel at this point. I have some business ventures in the mix that would keep me preoccupied. So when I draw a boundary to a mileage, it's not because I'm not interested in people outside of it. I just know my thresholds. That's an important detail for anybody to know. Can you really contribute to a lengthy commute? If you can't, or if you don't want to, you're allowed. You can say no. And anybody who doesn't like that needs to go look for someone else without criticizing or judging or giving somebody a hard time because of their thresholds.
And I think it also depends where you are in your life journey. There's some in your life, maybe you'd be more open to international travel, but then there's responsibilities and other things that make that impossible.
No question about it. I had sick parents in this last year now, or I'm settling an estate. So I have a fiduciary responsibility to do something, which means being here for a while. So that's how it is. If you don't like it, well, there are a lot of women out there who are single.
I know. And with me and, with my mom, and then I've got all this equipment. Imagine me trying to carry all this equipment around a plane or something.
My God.
It's not possible.
No. And when you are okay with mileage, maybe that means you only get together on weekends or whatever, but it can take all the impromptu out of a midweek dinner date, or everything has to be planned. Some people thrive with those conditions. Personally, I like impromptu. And if there's a 90-minute commute in the mix, impromptu is out of the equation, unless you both want to drive 90 minutes each way, and I don't want to. So, that's where I am right now. I know you have some thresholds I don't even call them limitations. I call them thresholds because they'll change. But for now, it's how it is.
Yeah. And, you know, you and I have talked about this before, but for me, my focus is on my career, and I've got a book coming out, and they're the most important things. It's not finding the love of my life.
But if you met somebody who shared your interests and was really an advocate for you and even a champion, and they were within a manageable distance, it'd be fine. So even with a lot of pursuits in the mix, so long, and your professional career is like mine. It's kind of like our skin. We live it, we breathe it, not because we're not interested in other things, but because it's part of who we are. So it's ideal to have a partner who enjoys that part of our personality, because it's not going to go away.
No, it's definitely not. No, because I'm sure you're the same as you've always been. I'm the same as I've always been. I always like to try new things. And some people think that's crazy, but it's like, yeah, I'll take horseback riding lessons. I mean, that was something I never wanted to do, but someone suggested it. And I got on the horse. I was scared to death, but I came back a second time. It's like, yeah, I'll try paddleboard. Yeah, I'll get a trampoline. Yeah, you know, whatever it is, I'll leave my corporate job and start a new business. You know?
Why not? I mean,
why not?
Right? If you don't like it, then you do something else. But that's also a personality that's willing to take some risk, adventurous. But for the person who likes to cocoon or who likes a smaller, quieter world, you're entitled. So keep it that way. If that's what you like, I mean, life is short. Enjoy it.
Exactly.
So,
yeah. It's so I just wanted to talk a minute about our new sponsor. And then I want to talk a little bit about A Better You. We've got a few minutes left. So we had a new ad from Ben Chai. Did you see that? The one from London. And it's great because we have global presence now, which I'm really thankful for. But I just want to talk a little bit about the fact that we have this platform, A Better You, and we have a group of people who are charter presenters, of which you're one. And these are people who are experts in their field, and they have a great presence, and they also have a following that, for me, I want to surround myself, as I build this platform out, I want to surround myself with the best people. And so thank you for being part of that.
Yeah, my pleasure. Here's the thing about that. They're like micro lessons. So you can listen to Zoom and Microsoft, Teams all day long for hours on end and get totally saturated with information or tips or education. But the benefit of a short blip is they're streamlined toward one topic, and you get this really solid understanding of a piece of something, and then you can do another one. So I kind of liken it to when you're at a buffet and you want to shovel a lot of food in your mouth. You can't taste it all. But for this, it's like an hors d'oeuvre, you know, you get a little bit, a good, healthy bite of something that enables you to really experience all of that information thoroughly. So these micro lessons are really strong.
And thank you for sharing that. And the content creators, and by the way, for folks watching, listening, A Better You is open to the public. The public, it's $250 that you pay, and you get to present 3 lessons. So it could be you do the first lesson and you're not happy with the way you did it. And so you come back and you do it a second time, or you do it a third time, or you do 3 completely different lessons. And then we customize your clip, your 15-minute lesson with a customized beginning and end. And then we ask you to put together a 5-question quiz. And that quiz relates to the lesson. We take the 2 of those and we put them up on A Better You University, where you can have your own playlist of lessons. So it can be content that you did on A Better You here, or it could be your own content. And we customize that with the editing. So it's a university library online tool of play lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors.
Great.
And I'm really excited about where it's going. Well, my friend, that's a wrap for us today. It was a pleasure seeing you and getting to know Sarah.
Yep, I know. And until next week.
And what?
Until next week.
Oh, until next week. Yes. Why don't you give out your contact information?
Okay, sure. Yes. It's presenceintelligence.com. And you can, if you want to get on the phone with me, just go to talkwithcoachlisa.com. And then you'll get a link to my calendar to set up a call. We'll chat.
And the services you can provide people are?
Just presence intelligence. In other words, making sure that you know yourself, that you understand yourself, that you understand what you want, and to make certain that whatever you're putting out there, however you're showing up, is aligned with all that, so that you can find your people and your people can find you really easily.
And Lisa, that might include making sure that your logo is aligned with your social media branding, with your website, and that's a reflection of you, correct?
All of it. So, and because who you are, if you can show up really great and look in a suit, but if your online digital footprint is cranky, or if it's polarizing, it can actually impede your progress personally and professionally. So I take a look at it all, and then determine where there are areas that you can, manage or rebuild or strengthen and optimize.
And you are also a TV show host. Tell us about that and where we can find you and watch you.
Yeah, on Wednesday mornings, RVN TV, I co-host with my buddy Mark. That's more a variety show. We talk about all different types of things. Like what I think cocktails was last week. It was National Whiskey Day, and yet the following week we talked about wills. So it's kind of a soup to nuts sort of show, but always filled with really good information and a lot of fun chit chat.
And so you go to rvntv.tv, morning coffee, Wednesdays at 8 a.m.
8 a.m. till 9, yes.
Yes. Please tune in and watch Lisa there. Yeah. Thank you so much for being here today, Lisa. I really appreciate it. It was great seeing you.
Until next week. See you.
See you later. And thank you to all who are watching and listening, whether it's live or later. I just wanted to thank you again and let you know that I am launching this new book, and I'd really love to have your support. I'll give you more details. It'll be coming out sometime in the next month. And the title of the book is Behind the Green Screen: How to Succeed in the Live Broadcasting Business. You would think I know the title. How to Succeed in the Live Broadcasting Business. We've got some great shows coming up for you tomorrow. We've got Pet Psychic Amina, and we also have Stories of Hope, Inspiration, Overcoming Adversity. And finally, we do have the Variety Show with my co-host, Lori will be joining us. We have A Better You, which are, again, lessons from the best coaches, consultants, and trusted advisors. If you would like to join us as a presenter, please go to abetteryou.tv. This is a great way for you to grow your brand, for you to share your expertise, for you to get your name out on a different platform. We're on Business Talk Radio and we're on social media, and people will watch us live, and then our show turns into a podcast. So live streaming, just think about it. You're going to be on Business Talk Radio, Facebook, LinkedIn, YouTube, Twitter, and Twitch live. And then the show becomes a podcast, and it can be found on Amazon, Apple, TuneIn, Spotify, and Pandora. So I didn't count that, but I think that's probably 14 or 15 destinations that you can be on. And it's $250 for 3 lessons. I hope that you will join us there. Finally, I am running a Clubhouse room. You can find me on Clubhouse every day at different times, but I do have a room that I'm running on Sundays at 8 o'clock Eastern time. And we've got a great group of people who are moderators. The name of the room is Rapping with Dr. Jacalyn, A Better You. We also have yoga classes, and we have guided meditations. We've got a great package of yoga, meditation, and a video for you each week, and that's $25. That's on the website. And of course, we have life and career coaching, and that's $300 an hour. That's also on the website. So thank you again. I really appreciate your support. We'll look forward to seeing you tomorrow at 3:30 when we have Pet Psychic Amina on with her guest. Bye.
Hi, my name is Zane Carson Caruth, and I'm the author of this book, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever.
Reading is magic. Studies have shown that reading to your children lays the foundation for greater success in life. Reading helps develop language and vocabulary skills. It helps improve memory, and it encourages curiosity and inspires creativity. The benefits are immeasurable, and as a parent, you'll benefit too. In only 10 or 15 minutes a day, you'll be creating more memories and a bonding experience that will last for years to come. So take time to read to your children. Read them books about things that engage and interest them. Tales of fairies and magic fascinate children, and as everyone knows, the Tooth Fairy is at the top of the list. If your child loves magic, wands, adventure, and what child doesn't, you'll love reading them books from the trademarked series, The World's First Tooth Fairy Ever. Follow along as Bella, the world's first tooth fairy, accidentally starts the tooth fairy tradition. Learn the tricks of being a professional tooth fairy in the book, Bella Starts a Tooth Fairy School. Your child's imagination will soar as you read the adventures of Bella and her magic wand. These wonderful books are available at worldsfirsttoothfairy.com and at Amazon, Barnes & Noble, and Walmart.
Located at 121 Haddon Avenue in Westmont, New Jersey, is Margie Cedrone, artisan jeweler. Margie's been in business for more than 30 years. She works with her clients to create custom pieces of jewelry to reflect their personality and help them make their own bold statement. Starting in the renowned Jewelers Row in Center City, Philadelphia in 1988, Margie works directly with her clients to develop one-of-a-kind pieces such as necklaces, engagement rings, wedding bands, unique watches and tennis bracelets, as well as a myriad of rings and earrings for everyone in your family. She also has worked directly with Dr. Jacalyn over the years, creating unique pieces of jewelry to reflect her personality. She does pearl stringing and repairs on site at 121 Haddon Avenue. Call or text Margie at 215-384-7155. Margie Cedrone Jewelry is open by appointment only. Make your own bold statement.